This is Boxing Tickets NI in association with SB Sports and Chaco. We're delighted to be joined once again. I guess the last time we done an interview, it was obviously in person, but we're delighted to be joined once again with the bomber, Thomas Carty. How are you, mate?
Not too bad, mate. Not too bad. Good to be back.
It definitely is. Like the last time I spoke to you was in City Hall in Belfast and a couple of days out from fighting. Obviously, seen you on the night at the show, obviously, with your missus and you were sort of enjoying the card, but probably I would say probably the lowest point of obviously a professional career so far. Come to fight night, sold a pile of tickets, people come up from Dublin, and all of a sudden, last minute, the opponent pulls out.
Yeah, no, it's a bit of a stinker, mate. All right, it's one of these things though. I hear it happen all the time. I said it at the time as well. You hear of it happening, but you never think it'll happen to you, you know. But no big deal, no big deal. We're over it now. It was a sickener at the time, though. Yeah, I was fucking raging.
I guess it's one of these things you can sort of dwell on it and sort of not move anywhere or just be positive and go, well, you know what, I was sort of done a fight camp, was prepared. You built a sort of theatre in a way, the fact that it was going to be another Mick Conlan card. It didn't happen. I guess it's one of these things you just had to put it down to experience now, don't you, and just move forward.
That's it. That's it. And hopefully those people that bought tickets will buy tickets off me again next time I'm in Dublin or Belfast.
Speaking obviously on Dublin, obviously with the return to obviously Dublin in the south for the first time since what, March 2019. Um, Obviously more so for you being a Dublin lad, it's massive for Dublin. It's massive even for the south of Ireland. Um, I'm sure you were sort of there in keen eyes sort of last night and going, it's been a while since you probably boxed in the National Stadium as well, but to see professional boxing back, probably a proud moment for you last night.
Yeah, it was good to see the lads get a date, and especially so close to home. It's a significant night in terms of there hasn't been boxing there in so many years, so it was really good to see, and it was good to see the crowds back out, and there was a crowd there all right last night. So it was great. Well done to the lads that put it together, and well done to all the lads last night that fought. It was a great night's entertainment.
Does it get you dreaming, I guess? Obviously, Three Arena, potential at Croke Park in 2023. Does it sort of get the dream of you going, because whenever you first signed pro, there's no fighting happening in Dublin. And now we've had one, the potential at Carty and Croke Park. Is that excitement sort of building, or are you just sort of focused now on fight week coming?
The excitement's been building ever since the rumors, start circulating, and the excitement's been building since then. And people talk, Croke Park next year, and the excitement is definitely building. But at the moment, I'm fighting on Saturday, so it's tunnel vision between here and Saturday, and we'll address Croke Park or whatever the rest of the rumors are after Saturday.
It definitely is. I guess it's people start now talking April, May, June, July. It could be like 2022 was where Amanda Serrano couldn't fight, and then all of a sudden it's off. But for you, I guess it's a relief to obviously get another fight date out of the way. It's a long time since March. 8 months out of the ring. You were building obviously good momentum as well. Obviously, two stoppage wins in a row. Your actual last opponent as well. Obviously, has next fight back. He went away in the way corner and upset the odds big time, didn't he?
That dude I fought my last fight was good. Yeah, I actually thought he was very very sturdy, and I'd like to see him fight a couple of other prospects. Just to compare performances. But yeah, his last fight there, he's brought in against a guy, can't pronounce his name, but he was picked to be Deontay Wilder's next fight after Hellenius. He was 33-1. He'd only ever been beaten by Povetkin, and the guy I fought just knocked him spark out. Yeah.
I
It
guess
was
that
one
just
way traffic as well. It wasn't a lucky punch. It was one way traffic for the whole fight.
I guess that makes your win over him even better now. Obviously, the fact that his defeat to you spurred him on, and he's went in there like he was up for the fight with you as well. Like he wasn't coming to lie down. He was built up all week. He was coming to take your head off, and I guess it
Big
showed in the
time.
fight. It was
You could see from the fight he saw that as his big opportunity. He was no journeyman coming to lie down. You know what I mean? He was coming to take my head off, and would have if I let him. You know what I mean? But it goes to show you the level of my capabilities. I think I'm ranked 113 in the world with 3 fights. And I'm between lads that have 15, 16, and 17 fights, you know what I mean? I've 3 fights and I'm already that far up the rankings. So I know rankings mean nothing. Ranking is only a number, but just in terms of quality of opponent I've fought so far, um, I think it's been slightly impressive. Not your run of the mill. The second guy I fought was 4-1.
You're definitely you're getting good opponents, which are also getting you very well ranked, and that's the good thing. You're not taking easy opponents. You want progression each time you move.
Yeah.
Like that's testament to say everybody loves heavyweight boxing. You know, everybody loves Irish heavyweight boxers as well. You know, for you, obviously, it's probably a proud moment on Saturday night. Obviously, Dillian Whyte's your manager, and you're supposed to fight in his card last October. I think obviously that was around the time still COVID was sort of happening. I think he had an injury, but obviously it's going to be like a surreal moment for you now that you're going to be there watching your manager, and he's going to try and watch you, I guess, as well.
It's going to be nuts. Yeah, it's going to be crazy. Really looking forward to it, and it's going to be a real staple moment in my career, because when I started out this whole boxing thing, I never thought you do dream of turning pro and dream of being on this card, that card, but you never think you'd actually end up somewhere like this. So it's definitely going to be a bit of a staple in my career, you know.
And looking, I've seen Eddie Hearn obviously mentioned the other day, the winner of Dillian and Franklin will obviously potentially be the opponent for AJ next year. That'll be another weird moment. You've obviously sparred with AJ and Dillian's your manager. How are you going to sit in the fence for that? Well, you can't sit in the fence. You're going to have to back Dillian.
I'm going to have to back Dillian 100%, you know. Dillian is, you know, there was a lot of people that were good to me in my pro career, and I sparred a lot of guys, and they're all 100%. But Dillian is the guy that saw something in me and gave me the opportunity, you know, and you have to treat loyalty with loyalty. So I'll definitely be backing Dillian, but be a great fight. And, you know, AJ, you don't need to go on about his accolades. AJ's a fantastic fighter, amazing fighter, you know, and has achieved so much. And I think pound for pound has the best record of all the heavyweight boxers out there at the moment. Personally, I think you know, it's really, really, I suppose, admirable what he's done in his career. And if him and Dillian were to fight, I wouldn't be screaming my head off now, but I'd definitely be backing Dillian 100%.
It'd not be good for you if obviously you went against your manager in a fight.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. Not that I would, anyways, but definitely not. Like, the two lads are sound, but you have to back your man. You have to back your team. You know what I mean?
What do you make of the heavyweight landscape? Obviously, at the very top at the moment. Obviously, you've Isaac was obviously quite a few of the belts. You've Fury, obviously, with what the WBC left. Then you've obviously uh, Deontay Wilder and Andy Ruiz looking like fighting. It just seems as if there's a sort of like a merry-go-round sort of happening at the moment. Titles are changing hands. People are getting into positions. Is this sort of like a new sort of wave sort of coming now, and we could potentially get another big upset coming?
I don't think so. I don't think so, to be completely honest. Um, I don't think there's anybody else that's going to get involved in the mix anytime soon. Like the lads that are at the top, Dillian, AJ, Fury, they're not necessarily in their last year of boxing. You know what I mean? I don't think personally. Maybe they are, but I don't think personally. I know Dillian's definitely not. So I don't think there's definitely going to be some new faces added to the top 10. I'd say top 15, and there probably is already that you wouldn't recognize or I wouldn't recognize. But I think the titles are going to stay in the same hands for another year or two or three, even. You know what I mean? Maybe they might chop and change, all right, but I can't see them changing too much.
Obviously back to London again, obviously on Saturday. Same venue, was it, that you boxed in last October?
No, I
Different
boxed in
venue?
the O2 in October. I was in the O2, so now it's the OVO in Wembley.
And
Pierce O'Leary's on in the Pierce is on in the O2 the same night.
O2. Yeah, so they got mixed up the two venues. But obviously Katie obviously headlined there a few weeks ago as well. I guess obviously a memorable moment, fighting in the same venue that the greatest woman of all times fought on, and a hero to everybody in Ireland.
100%, yeah. Anywhere Katie has been should be blessed. You know what I mean? Even the local shop. But yeah. No, it's going to be good. It's going to be interesting. It's great to see to go from say the stadium to one of these big huge shows in London. You know, to see the difference. It'd be fantastic. I'm really looking forward to it. The production value, you know, the boxing in the stadium last night was great, and the boxing next week would be great. But in terms of production value, Matchroom just do it different. I think they really are. They're leagues, their heads above everybody else. You know.
They are fun. I was talking about it yesterday. I was saying about the materials and stuff they have. The minute it's on a live stream, they pretty much have it ready to go straight out. You know, like your weigh-in footage and stuff like that. It's ready to go with the equipment and the money they've spent. I know they're getting a lot of slack recently for being involved in YouTuber boxing and stuff like that, but the production's incredible.
yeah, you can't knock it really. They have it all covered across the board, really, don't they?
They definitely do. On Saturday night, is it another 6 rounder for yourself?
Yeah, fingers crossed it's 6. I know that the card is quite stacked as is. I don't necessarily want to go back, go back down the ladder to 4 rounds. I'm not doing. Although it only lasted 5, it was scheduled for 6 the last fight. So I definitely want another 6 rounder because the little bit of a roadmap I have set out was to maybe fight 8 rounds between January and whenever Croke Park happens, and then I'm qualified to fight for a title, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I think with doing 6 rounders, you're already eligible for the Celtic. And I was speaking to someone from the BA last night, and you have to have done an 8 rounder before you can obviously fight for the Irish title as well. So it's putting yourself in them positions.
Absolutely, that's the one. That's the one.
You nearly think I had this planned in advance. I was asking about the eligibility for Irish titles just to make sure nothing had changed.
Oh, really? Yeah. No, I know the eligibility there. All right. I've the my eyes set on it big time now. I think there's gonna be that many surreal things happen next year. Why not add me fighting for an Irish title into the mix? You know what I mean?
Well, the first time,
Who
well,
wouldn't want to see? Who wouldn't want to see an Irish title fight on the Croke Park card? You know what I mean?
who is there sort of left now that you can sort of, not that I'm trying to get you name drop someone for clickbait or anything like that, but who is
I
there Irish
if I
heavyweight?
could, if I could name drop someone, I would. You know what I mean? If I could, if it's some sort of confrontation I need to start, I'll start it. But I just can't think of anyone. Hopefully, as far as I know, I've seen something about Paddy Nevin and McPhee. He has more wins than I have. That'd be a fight I'd definitely be interested in. Anybody that qualifies for it, someone even move up from cruiserweight. You know what I
Particularly
mean?
when you get the opportunity to fight, like let's face it, you don't even have to offer money to people to fight in Croke Park. There'll be like
No, you
hands
wouldn't.
teeth getting tickets. So like you said to me in August, when the time comes, the platform and the money, they don't need the platform and the money. You tell someone you're going to fight Croke Park, they don't even care who the opponent is. They just say yes.
That's it. You know what I mean? I'm gonna put it out there. I might just start advertising on the street if there's any big lads that want to fight me in Crow Park. You know what I mean? We'll get them a license and then just so I can get the title, isn't it?
Definitely is. And I'd say it's what 2012 is the last time obviously the heavyweight title was won, and it was obviously one of the kings of the division at the moment. Tyson Fury had it. So you have to take his name off somewhere.
Exactly. I want to take his name. I want to take his name off the belt because it's the only belt that can get his name taken off.
You just wonder if they still have one at that sort of size, obviously a bit bigger in size, or are they all like featherweight type belts, just put over the shoulder?
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Yeah, yeah. No, it'd be some crack though. Like if it was daytime now, I'd show you. But where I'm living, I can literally look out the window and I can see the side of Crow Park.
You were saying that to me last
I,
week as
I
well.
actually think, yeah, I think if Crow Park happens and when it happens, I think it will. It genuinely will happen without even being optimistic or too optimistic. I think it genuinely will happen. I could see myself selling 5,000 plus tickets. You know what I mean? More probably. Everyone from around this area is going to go. Like, you know what I mean? I know everybody around the area. Everybody's going to want to go, and then you have even people that don't like me will probably get tickets off me because it'd be handy. Even people that don't like boxing will get tickets off me just for the event. You know what I mean? There's a certain amount of people that are going to want to come to that event that don't like boxing but really like Katie Taylor. You know what I mean?
Realistically, obviously, what is the attendance sort of value at Croke Park? Obviously, without using the pitch, is it 80,000 without using the pitch?
It is, yeah, but you can't use it. It's 80,000 including the stand, isn't it? There's going to be no hill. But if they put the ring on the pitch, like I can't imagine if they put the ring on the pitch, they're going to have to put seats on the pitch as well, aren't they?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So maybe it might average out around 80,000.
But that being said, like when you thought when you're starting off your professional career, I guess everybody has the dream of fighting at Croke Park and everything else, but you probably didn't think it would happen because Katie's fights were all away from home, and you're sort of going, this is never going to happen. And now you're going, we're a few months away. Have we got the plan in place? How are we going to sell these tickets? I know your brother's been doing a brilliant job for you as well and selling the tickets.
My brother, he is the man. Liam is in charge of all internal enterprises to do with Team Carty.
And he's back boxing as well as well as he get the bug back because obviously of what he wants to get in there and fight as well.
Absolutely. Liam's an animal himself. Yeah, I don't know what he's seen a clip of him last week. He was on fire. He's brilliant. He's a busy kid. He's just started back. He finished school, started back his apprenticeship there, and he is flat out in the gym as well. So he's a busy kid. So I'm really proud of him. The fact that he's keeping up the boxing as well. I don't pressure him into it. You know what I mean? Completely up to him. So yeah, really good kid. Really proud of him actually.
Do you sort of, when you're watching them and stuff last week, do you get more nervous for him boxing, or obviously more nervous for yourself?
Yeah. I'm more nervous for him. I wish he'd stop, to be honest with you, but you can't tell him to stop.
Nobody likes sort of watching their own family box. Like, you're sort of waiting for him to go, give us a hand here, you know, when you jump on the ring.
I know, yeah.
You know,
I was going to jump the top rope, yeah. Jump the top rope or run over to the kid's dad.
What's he doing? Why is he fighting my son? Why is he fighting my brother? But I guess when you sort of look, you know, we're not looking too far ahead from what was after Saturday night, but what will you obviously put? Will you put 2022 then as a sort of learning year with the experience of obviously what's went on, so that you can build yourself stronger going into 2023? Or is it just the fact that get the one Saturday night and then get back out again as quick as you can?
2022 was on reflection, it was a great year so far. I know it seems like I've been really inactive, but I've had plenty of top class sparring as well, mixed in with all that. So I can't forget about that learning that I've been doing this year and those experiences, you know. And so it's been a definitely good, especially with a win now on Saturday night, a flashy win as well. I need something that's going to catch the eyes, because I want a flashy win. I want everybody talking about me. Like Pierce O'Leary's last knockout had everybody talking. I'm capable of doing something flashy, and I definitely wanted to have a flashy kind of a flamboyant win this weekend and finish off the year on a high. You know what I mean?
I'm just throwing this out here because I was doing it last night as well. If you were to stop someone in the first round without any cuts or any bruises, obviously there's a Cullen boxing card 2 weeks later. I guess in Cullen box know you won. I guess, well, it's not really their fault it didn't happen, but just throwing it out there, if obviously there was an opportunity on the 10th of December to fight in Belfast, would you be up for it? Or I guess just you have to see how Saturday goes.
Yeah, I'd be all over it, of course, you know. Depending on how Saturday night goes, definitely, I think it's bad luck to even look ahead of a fight to another one. But it's definitely something I'd entertain, definitely. Like, I'd love to give everybody in Dublin, like, you know, obviously I'm announcing quite late. Not everybody's going to be able to get to London next weekend. So I'd love to give the people and all my fans, friends and family an opportunity to come up and see me in Belfast. And especially for the people that missed out last time, you know what I mean? Like, my nanny actually travelled to the last fight. She's never come to see me fight ever. So my nanny actually travelled from Dublin. She's 82 years of age. She travelled from Dublin up to watch me. And she really enjoyed the night. Now, she said it was a brilliant night. But I'd love to get a chance for her to come and see me, you know what I mean?
It's them wee moments, isn't it? That it's particularly obviously when she never comes to see you fight, and to go on all that far, it's like you owe her one. You know, you nearly taking her limousine up the next time to make it extra special.
yeah, absolutely. A horse and cart.
Why not? Are you on the horse?
You'd have to leave next weekend.
Are you on the horse, or are you the horse?
I'll pull him the cart. I'll put the cart.
The Carty party, I guess it's gathering momentum. Like, you can imagine what the Carty party is going to be like, you know, potentially after Croke Park next year. It'll be the fact of then when you can get to headline your own show, then because you've got demand there, you know, when you've people that's bought tickets, they know where they can get them. So you could then potentially sell 5,000 tickets for any show.
Yeah, absolutely. You've no idea. I think if Croke Park goes ahead, I win the Irish title. I don't know. They're going to need armed escorts around Dorsetry for a couple of days afterwards, because the party be non-stop. The local be hopping, yeah.
I'm sure everybody will be offering you pints as well to keep you out afterwards.
Come here, Irish title, I drink them. I drink for a week straight, and I'm not even a drinker.
Either am I. But I guess, you know, we sort of run out of things, and I don't want to sort of disrupt your rhythm too much. Obviously, going into fight week, we're obviously not publishing this tonight and Sunday night, but obviously it's going out tomorrow morning. But obviously looking forward to tuning into the DAZN on Saturday night, seeing Thomas Carty move to 4-0 with 3 KOs inside 30 seconds, and then you're on Belfast on the 10th of December. the dream.
Sounds like a good bit of a plan, all right, yeah.
It definitely does, and it's not pre-programmed in any way. I don't even know if there's any availability on the show, but you always have to make room for a heavyweight.
Absolutely, 100%. We'll kick somebody off.
Definitely will. But listen, obviously, I want to thank you once again for your time. All the very best of luck on Saturday night, and I'm sure we'll bump into you very, very soon.
100%, pal. Thank you. Thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Not a problem, Tommy. Cheers. Take care. Thanks. Bye.
Legend, boss.
Cheers.
Talk to you in a
Bye.
bit.